Hello, hello. I think I'm talking to some people now, but I'm not sure. Um, Sometimes it tells me how much we're getting. We got two people. Well, one of them might be me, and the other one might be you. Hi, Jeff. Hi, Jess. Um, all right, so here we are doing a thing that we're going to try to be doing from now on. 6:45 midweek ministry. And once again, we are finding ourselves doing something that we don't know how to do, we've never done before, haven't prepared for, haven't trained for, but that seems appropriate because I think everybody is kind of in the same boat a little bit. We're all doing something that we never really prepared to do. So, oh, there's Ruby. That's my dog. They just got back from a walk. So, anyway, we're all in the same boat, doing stuff that we've never done before, never thought to do before, didn't think we'd ever have to do, really. Not really. I mean, with the climate change apocalypse always looming, it seems like maybe somewhere in the back of our mind, we thought, oh, we'll prepare for that when it happens, which actually, it turns out, that's what we're doing, preparing on the fly. So this is part of that, a response to the current situation on the fly. And hopefully it takes off. This is the beta test version of it. So if I totally screw up, it's okay. Just don't tell anybody. Just tell me. So last night, I was woken up at 4:45 by my cat, Simon, who was having a hairball. And that's why he woke me up. And he got over that. He took care of that on his own. I didn't have to do anything about that, but I was awake, and it's like the worst time to be woken up. 4:45. It's still definitely the middle of the night, and yet also really close to actual morning, like time to wake up. So you're not going to get out of bed, though. It's not that early. But also, man, it's kind of hard to go back to sleep. And so I woke up, Simon did his thing. And as I was laying there, I was like immediately, as soon as the cat was, I assured that the cat wasn't dying, I was immediately beset by a sense of dread. Like it was heavy on my chest. And it wasn't like a panic attack. I've had the exquisite experience of panic attack before, and it wasn't that, but it was heavy and difficult, and it was dark, and everyone was asleep, so effectively I was quite alone and didn't know what to do. It's just like the weight of all the dire possibilities that I sort of am able to keep at bay with effort during the day, because I'm conscious. Coming into consciousness in a sort of vulnerable state, it's like they attacked all those worries, which are very real. They're not made up. They're not invented out of anxiety. I mean, there are some really dire consequences involving cascading effects of the virus that, if we're not careful, will happen. I think we are avoiding them. I think we're doing a fairly good job of that. But nonetheless, there they are. They're real, and they visited me at 5:45 this morning. And I sat there, laid there for a little bit, sort of paralyzed by that, and eventually thought, well, I better do something, or this isn't going away all by itself. So I called on my theology. I called on basically two things. One, coming to some sort of peace with the ultimate, and two, really grounding myself in the immediate present, which was my body, the sounds of the few cars that were passing on the streets outside. We have like this ocean wave noisemaker for the kids, and that was going, it goes all night. And so that was happening, and I got in touch with that. And then just like felt my body in bed and looked at the shadows in the room and the light as it played in the room, and just grounding myself absolutely in the present was helpful. And eventually that dread lifted, and I had a dream. So I fell back asleep. And lo and behold, the dream was about kite flying. I'm not making that up. Jeff and Jess, I've been preaching about kite flying for a few weeks now. And last night was my first kite flying dream. And it was so nice. After that heaviness of the dread, to have a dream about kite flying was, it seemed, oh, there's the star of the prelude, the cat who had the hairball that woke me up at 4:45 and induced my sense of dread, which then caused me to need to employ theology. So here's my question to you all, and you could answer this in the comments or interact in whatever way it feels right. You could even talk to each other in the comments, but I'm curious for you all. I mean, this activity midweek is intended to be interactive because we need to be interactive. I've been frozen for over a minute for Cindy. I'm sorry, Cindy. Everyone is using the internet, I guess, right now. Only 3 of the people that are using the internet are actually here, so hopefully I'll unfreeze for you. Anyway, the question is, for those of you who can hear me and see me, what theology, what spiritual methods, which I think are probably then informed by a theology, are you using right now to get you through this time? And of course, you know, when I say theology, I'm just meaning that in the most broad application possible. So it doesn't necessarily even have to have a theos in there, but a spiritual philosophy, if you will, spiritual anthropology. What are you using to get you through the dark night? So if you have any comments, I'd love to see them over here in the comment section. Can anyone check in and let me know that we're not frozen? Introspection. Yeah, introspection is good, but it could also, I mean, like, I guess any technique is just a technique, but introspection could carry us into some pretty weedy places sometimes too. What I wonder is the result of the introspection. Like, is introspection, does it always work? So introspection, and then Jeff and Jess are praying, giving the problems back to God and the universe and trying to control and solve. Yeah. Do you do that? I wonder, is that what does that look like for you guys? I mean, because there are some problems you can't give back, right? If you get sick, or if enough police get sick, that's a problem that I don't know that we can give back. But I guess we're talking about worrying about the problem and techniques to not worry, to lay the worry aside in order to be, yeah, no freaking clue what to do. Yeah, I have no clue what to do. That's a good place to start, for sure. For sure. And does that take you out of the dread? That's a lot of trust to have, which is a good place, I suppose. I don't think I'm there, frankly. I don't think I have that trust right now. I mean, I am praying actually, and the prayers usually start off. I've come up with an address that works for me. Instead of naming what I'm praying to, I say I don't know who I'm praying to, and that seems to activate some sort of receptivity, a feeling of receptivity around me, where it feels like my prayers are landing. I'm sorry, Cindy. That's a great. Well, it's nice to know that the internet is in line with my spiritual state. Maybe the internet, we should give the internet back to God, or ground the internet somehow. Anyway, it's important right now, right, to have these techniques, and whether it's prayer or introspection, questioning why am I feeling this way, and why when you answer that, where is that answer coming from? Why did I choose to answer it that way? And following that to the end of its road. I wonder, Karen, does that always lead to the same place? Does the introspection carry you always to the same place? Karen, I love the oh, hey, Dave McQuarrie, tuning in. We should at least give neoliberalism back to God. Yes, indeed. Maybe he didn't like it, and that's why he gave it to us. Who knows? So, Karen, I think you're answering maybe that it all does kind of wind up coming back to the same place. It'd be interesting. I would love to know a little bit more about where that place is, but perhaps we should save that for next time. These midweek ministries are intended to be brief and just opportunities for us to touch base. And so I'm going to say goodbye soon, but I want to make sure to thank you all for tuning in. Give me some feedback in emails. I don't know if there seems to be audio. How? Asked Dave. I'm not sure if that. Well, it is fun, Cindy, but you're going to have to pick up the clues. I wonder why it's working for some people and not others. We'll try to get to the bottom of that with our Crack Calm team. Audio dialogue. I don't know that there's an audio dialogue. There's just a dialogue, a dialogue here to the side, if that's what you mean, Dave. Yeah. All right. Well, it's good to be with you, and I'm gonna get better at like interacting with this the live chat over here. And it's awesome if you guys interact even with each other, and I'll look over here from time to time and see what I could pick up and respond to, and keep it rolling, which is a little bit weird because it's like having 2 or 3 different conversations at the same time. But no, Dave, I cannot hear others speaking. I can only read the comments in the chat. Hopefully you can hear me speaking. So I'm going to say goodnight. We're coming up on 15 minutes, almost exactly. We've had 4 or 5 people in here. It's a good start. Give me your feedback and tips and pointers, because like I said, I don't know what I'm doing. My intention is to speak for a little bit and then address some, give like a mini reflection and then pick up on some comments over here. That's the intention. Let me know if that is a good model or not, or if there could be a better model. Anyway, stay safe, everybody. Wash your hands. Be well, be safe, sleep soundly, brush your teeth. Don't forget to brush your teeth. Good night.